Have you ever felt a feeling of worry that scammers are finding new ways to trick seniors every single day? In today's world, scammers have become more clever and more ruthless, especially when it comes to targeting seniors. What makes this even more troubling is that these scammers know exactly how to sound trustworthy, how to create urgency, and how to make their lies feel believable. They prey on kindness, trust, and the natural desire to help others or protect what you've worked so hard to build. The sad reality is that every day good people lose their savings, their security, and their peace of mind to these criminals. In this video, we're going to expose 5 dangerous scams that are targeting seniors right now. These aren't the old tricks you might have heard about before. These are new, sophisticated schemes that are fooling even the most careful and intelligent people. Each one is designed to catch you off guard, and the consequences can be devastating if you don't see them coming. Stay with me through all 5, because the final scam might be the most shocking of all, and recognizing it could save you thousands of dollars. By the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge and confidence to spot these traps before they can hurt you or anyone you care about. Let's begin. The first scam that's spreading rapidly is the fake tech support call, and it's becoming more convincing every single day. It usually starts with your phone ringing and a voice on the other end claiming to be from a major company like Microsoft, Apple, or even your internet provider. They sound professional and concerned as they tell you that your computer has been hacked, that viruses are stealing your personal information, or that your internet connection is being used by criminals. The fear in your chest is immediate because these are real concerns that every computer user has. The caller speaks with authority, using technical terms that sound legitimate, and they offer to fix everything right away if you just give them access to your computer. They walk you through downloading a program that lets them control your screen, telling you they need to see what's wrong. Once they're inside your computer, they can access everything: your email, your saved passwords, your banking information, and your personal files. They might show you fake warnings on your screen or point to normal computer files and claim they're dangerous viruses. Then comes the bill. They tell you the repair will cost anywhere from $50 to several $100s, and they want payment immediately through gift cards, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. These payment methods are specifically chosen because they're almost impossible to trace or reverse. What started as a helpful service call has become a complete theft of your money and potentially your identity. Let me tell you about Dorothy, age 76, who received exactly this type of call while checking her email one morning. The man on the phone sounded so knowledgeable and concerned about her computer's security that she followed his instructions without question. After giving him remote access and paying what he called a security fee, Dorothy discovered that her bank account had been emptied. The criminals had used her own computer against her, accessing her online banking while she watched, thinking they were helping her. The key to avoiding this scam is remembering that legitimate tech companies never call customers out of the blue to report problems. If Microsoft or Apple needed to contact you, they would do it through official channels, not surprise phone calls. Real technical support also never asks for payment through gift cards or demands immediate action. When someone calls claiming your computer is in danger, simply hang up. If you're genuinely concerned, contact the company directly using the phone number from their official website, not the number the caller provided. The second scam taking advantage of seniors involves fake government and benefit calls. These criminals pose as representatives from Social Security, Medicare, the IRS, or other official agencies. They call with urgent news about your benefits, claiming there's a problem with your account, that you owe money, or that you're about to lose coverage unless you act immediately. They often have some of your personal information already, which makes them sound legitimate and official. The caller might say your social security number has been suspended due to suspicious activity, or that your Medicare benefits are being cancelled unless you verify your information right away. They create panic by suggesting that government agents are coming to arrest you, that your bank accounts will be frozen, or that you'll lose benefits you depend on. In that moment of fear, they offer to help you fix the problem if you just provide additional personal details or send money for processing fees. What makes this scam particularly cruel is that it targets seniors' dependence on government programs and their respect for authority. Many older adults have been taught to cooperate with government officials, and when someone claims to represent an agency they depend on, the natural instinct is to listen and comply. The scammers know this, and they use that respectful nature against you. Consider what happened to William, an 84-year-old veteran. He received a call from someone claiming to be from the Social Security Administration, saying there was fraudulent activity on his account and that his benefits would be stopped unless he verified his information immediately. Worried about losing his monthly income, William provided his Social Security number, date of birth, and even his bank account details. Within days, his identity had been stolen and unauthorized charges appeared on his accounts. The truth is that government agencies handle problems through official mail, not threatening phone calls. Social Security will never call to threaten suspension of benefits. Medicare doesn't demand immediate payment over the phone, and the IRS communicates primarily through written correspondence. If someone claiming to be from a government agency calls you with urgent demands, you can safely hang up and contact the agency directly using the official number from their website or your benefit statements. The third scam that's becoming increasingly common involves fake charities and donation requests. This scam is particularly heartbreaking because it takes advantage of seniors' generosity and desire to help others. These criminals call or contact seniors claiming to represent legitimate charities, often ones that support causes close to your heart like veterans, children, disaster relief, or medical research. They use emotional appeals and urgent language to convince you to donate immediately. The scammer might call right after a natural disaster, claiming to represent an emergency relief fund, or they might pose as a charity for veterans, knowing that many seniors have military connections. They often use names that sound similar to real charities, making it difficult to tell the difference in the moment. They pressure you to give your credit card information over the phone or ask you to send cash, checks, or gift cards immediately. What makes this scam especially effective is that it appeals to your best instincts. The desire to help others in need is a beautiful quality, and criminals exploit that goodness ruthlessly. They might even send fake thank you letters or certificates to make the charity seem real and to encourage future donations. Meanwhile, your money goes straight into their pockets while the people you thought you were helping receive nothing. Think about Eleanor, an 82-year-old woman who received a call from someone claiming to collect donations for homeless veterans. The caller was polite and knowledgeable about veteran issues, which resonated with Eleanor since her late husband had served in the military. She donated $50 over the phone, thinking she was honoring his memory. But when she tried to find information about the charity later, she discovered it didn't exist. Her generosity had been stolen and used against her. Before donating to any charity, especially one that contacts you unexpectedly, take time to research them. Look up the organization online, check their rating with charity watchdog groups, and verify that they're legitimate before sending any money. Real charities welcome questions and give you time to think. They don't pressure you for immediate donations or demand payment through untraceable methods. The fourth scam that's targeting seniors with growing frequency is the family emergency scam, and it's one of the most emotionally manipulative schemes you'll encounter. It typically begins with a frantic phone call from someone claiming to be your grandchild, nephew, or another young family member. The caller sounds distressed and explains that they're in serious trouble, perhaps arrested, stranded in another country, or facing a medical emergency. They desperately need money wired immediately to get out of their situation. The emotional hook is immediate and powerful. As grandparents, we want to protect our grandchildren and help them when they're in trouble. The caller might say something like, "Grandma, please don't tell Mom and Dad about this. I'm so embarrassed, but I really need your help." They might claim they're calling from jail, from a hospital, or from somewhere far from home where they can't reach their parents. The urgency and secrecy are designed to bypass your natural instinct to verify the story with other family members. These scammers are often skilled at mimicking speech patterns and using information they've gathered from social media to make their story seem real. They might know your grandchild's name, where they go to school, or recent family events. If you hesitate or ask questions, they might put someone else on the phone claiming to be a lawyer, doctor, or police officer to add credibility to their story. Let me share what happened to George, a 79-year-old grandfather. He received a call from someone who sounded like his grandson, claiming to have been arrested for drunk driving while visiting friends in another state. The young man begged George not to tell his parents because he was ashamed and scared. He needed money for bail and a lawyer, and he pleaded with George to wire the funds immediately. George's protective instincts kicked in, and he sent the money without question. Only later, when he mentioned it to his daughter, did he learn that his grandson had been home all along, and the whole story was a lie. The power of this scam lies in how it hijacks your love for family. In that moment of crisis, critical thinking often takes a back seat to emotional response. The scammers count on grandparents acting first and asking questions later. They also rely on the secrecy aspect, knowing that if you contact other family members, the truth will quickly emerge. Protection against this scam requires a simple but firm rule. No matter how convincing the caller sounds, no matter how urgent they claim the situation is, always verify before you send money. Hang up and call the family member directly using a number you already have. Contact their parents or other relatives to confirm the story. Real emergencies can wait long enough for you to make sure you're helping the right person in the right way. The fifth and perhaps most disturbing scam affecting seniors today involves artificial intelligence and voice cloning technology. This represents a terrifying new frontier in fraud because scammers can now create fake audio that sounds exactly like your loved ones. Using just a few seconds of someone's voice from a social media video, voicemail, or phone conversation, criminals can generate realistic speech that mimics your family member perfectly. The scam unfolds like the family emergency scheme, but with a crucial difference. When you hear the voice, it genuinely sounds like your grandchild, your child, or another relative. The technology has become so advanced that even people who know their family members well can be completely fooled. The scammer might call claiming to be your grandson, and when you hear what sounds exactly like his voice, saying he's in trouble and needs money, every instinct tells you it's real. What makes this particularly dangerous is that it removes one of our most reliable ways of identifying loved ones. We trust our ears, and when technology can fool them completely, it becomes much harder to distinguish between real calls and fake ones. The emotional impact is devastating because the voice sounds so authentic that even after discovering it was a scam, many victims struggle to believe their own family member wasn't actually in danger. Consider what happened to Ruth, an 81-year-old grandmother. She received a call from what sounded exactly like her teenage grandson's voice, claiming he'd been in a car accident and needed money for emergency medical treatment. The voice was so convincing, including his typical speech patterns and even his nervous laugh, that Ruth never questioned it. She immediately sent the money through a wire transfer. Hours later, when her actual grandson called to chat about his day at school, Ruth realized she'd been victimized by technology she didn't even know existed. This type of scam is particularly dangerous because it's so new that many seniors aren't aware it's possible. The technology required has become accessible to criminals, and they're using it to make their family emergency scams nearly undetectable. The audio can be so convincing that even tech-savvy people struggle to identify it as fake. Protection against voice cloning scams requires extra vigilance. Even when you're certain you recognize the voice, establish a family code word or ask specific questions that only your real family member would know. Always verify through another communication method, calling them back on their known number or contacting other family members to confirm their whereabouts. Be especially suspicious if the caller asks you to keep the conversation secret or demands immediate action. Now that you understand these 5 scams that are actively targeting seniors today, remember that knowledge is your strongest defense. Each of these schemes succeeds by catching people off guard, by creating false urgency, and by manipulating emotions like fear, hope, and love. But when you know what to look for, when you understand the tactics they use, you become much harder to fool. The criminals behind these scams count on seniors being isolated, uninformed, or too embarrassed to ask for help. They assume that older adults won't verify their stories or discuss decisions with trusted friends and family. By staying connected, staying informed, and staying suspicious of unsolicited contact, you turn their assumptions against them. Remember that it's always better to be cautious and miss out on something that might have been real than to be trusting and lose something that definitely is real. Legitimate businesses, government agencies, and even family members in genuine trouble will understand if you need time to verify their identity or their story. Scammers, on the other hand, will always pressure you to act immediately because they know that time and verification are their enemies. Share what you've learned today with your friends, your neighbors, and your family. Talk openly about these scams and the tactics they use. When seniors discuss these threats together, we create a community of awareness that makes everyone safer. There's no shame in being targeted by scammers, only strength in being prepared for them. Thank you for watching today's video. We want to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Share your experiences, ask questions, or tell us which of these scams surprised you most. Your engagement helps us understand what topics matter most to our community. If this video helped you feel more prepared and confident, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest content. Your support allows us to keep creating videos that protect and empower seniors. Remember, staying informed isn't just about protecting yourself, it's about protecting everyone you care about. We'll see you in the next video.